When you work as long as I have, things begin to blur. You notice the commonality between people and their issues with life, with technology, with social interaction. You have a guy, let's call him Bob. He comes up to you and explains that he got a new device and just recently, and that it fixed the issue getting the new device. But you think, well, great, Bob. Why the hell are you talking to me? If your issue is resolved, then what more can I do? Not only are you confused, but you're also a bit upset. I mean, you've dealt with so many people thus far. Broken things, simple questions easily answered by the power of Google, forgotten security information. Why can't you cut to the chase and just tell me what the problem is? Bob has trouble. It's hard for him to express his issue. He's older. He looks about 40, but he looks damn near 50 or more. You can't put your finger on it exactly why, though. All the while, you're helping out an ESL person. Nice and understanding, but her 6-year-old daughter is translating for her. So, in your right ear, you hear a small child attempting to tell you crucial information about a password, and in the left ear, you hear a man trying to explain his issue, all the while showing signs of frustration, but not anger. Anytime you stop, just for an instant, to help out the little girl, Bob has to stop and start again. He can't continue. You resolve to do the one thing that your brain tells you not to do. Single task. You finish with the little girl and her mom. After that, Bob is the only thing that matters. When you turn back, Bob's head is down on the table, covered by his arms. Almost like he's sleeping, but you know it's distress. You nonchalantly ask Bob, "What's up?" and focus on him. Bob explains how fixing the device is the problem. Sort of. He understood that it needed to be replaced to fix the issue, but not the repercussions of what happens when you replace such a device. That all your personal data is lost, unless backed up properly beforehand, which he wasn't told, apparently. He was told, but he didn't understand the full gravity of the situation. He decided to go into a normal spiel of, well, did you back up? You were asked several times to save your information somewhere before this. Understanding the loss of data, you know, it's difficult for people. People just need a firm hand from reality to remind them that nothing lasts forever. Bob tells me that a month ago he lost his own son. You've dealt with crying people before, people going through divorce, court order release personal property, even death of grandparents. Those didn't really click. This one did. You did a lot to locate the information you were looking for, but you couldn't find it. Much of your resources and Bob's were out of reach. You told him of applications, of services, phone numbers, and companies that might be able to help. You even offered for him to come back at any point with another device with data on it, and that you'd be happy to try and help. After making every attempt to help, you still couldn't. Bob looked at you straight in the eyes, shook her hand with a firm grip, and said thank you, turned and walked out. It was one of the most powerful and meaningful farewells you'll ever have. It was unspoken but understood on both sides that you both tried as hard as you could, and that's all that you could ask of each other. You have to take a break after that, but everything was just a blur for a while. With the day coming to an end, you walk home. But you didn't want to be home. You grabbed your pipe and tobacco and headed up to the top of a 5-story building, something you don't do often. You start to look back, putting all of the pieces together sewing on what needed patching. The older than usual look the head covering the arms on the table, the difficulty speaking, the 5 o'clock shadow. There's only one word that can describe Bob: broken. You start to imagine what your life might have looked like in the future. You get married to the woman that you love. You spend as much time as possible together. She's your best friend. And the only thing in the world that matters is us. Until she tells you she's pregnant. The priorities shift. You make commitments, budgets. You take classes, read books. You try as hard to be prepared, but you never are. Neither of you. But it's okay. Because he's worth it. He starts to grow up. He takes his milestones to the world. School, friends, the moments when he likes the same music that you do, or when he needs advice about a girl or boy, or any advice, really. You're just happy he came to you, because he trusts you. And then it happens. The universe takes him away from you, both of you. It doesn't matter how or why. All that you know is that he's gone, and he's never coming back. She can't look at you. She can't even hear your voice anymore. It sounds too much like his. She needs to leave. So she does. You don't blame her, but it hurts so much to see her go. But you know that it would hurt her more to be with you. And you're not that selfish. You keep as much memorabilia as you can, and then you realize that you still have his voice from when he called you months ago. It's one of those recordings that sounds like an everyday chat. The ones you used to have, playing phone tag until both of you just gave up and started texting. You do anything to get those moments back, even if it meant talking to a complete stranger and asking for help. But it just hurts too much to even ask.